Welcome back to Aghasba. This episode is going to be slightly different, and I think you'll find out why quite quickly. So I'm not going to spoil it now, but all I'll say is let's get straight into the video, and I hope you enjoy. Yeah. So let's see what whether we've got the stuff. Yes, I believe I have. Yep, picked it up. Right, so let's go and see Winguri. Yep, she's still up. Makes me wonder why they haven't included steps all the way up. So I'm guessing you're going to have to do this a fair few times. I mean, I've already had to do it a few times. No, it's better. Oh. Fly away. There is a lot of climbing in this. And funnily enough, even though your health bar extends as you kind of like unlock things, I've never found a way of extending my stamina bar, which is a little bit odd. Yes, fresh air. I live in the country, so I get fresh air quite often. It's quite nice. Oh, of course, we have to do something else. There's a shock. Traditional gong of summoning. And of course it happens to be right down the bottom of the canyon. Canyon. Down we go. When we hit the bottom, no one knows. Good God. This takes forever. Oh God. Finally got them. What do we get? Ooh, steps. Now, I've noticed that recently these have kind of seemed to have been ignoring me until I hit, which is weird. Probably because they can see I've got this completely overpowered armor. I still can't believe that they give you a set of armor, which basically means you are immune to the only real enemy in the game. The only thing that I've seen that does actually hurt me while I'm wearing this are giants. The withered giants still do actually hurt quite considerably. And they don't seem to get the damage reflected to themselves, so I'm guessing it's not withered damage, it's just physical, which is a bit odd, but there we go. Right, let's ring this gong, see what happens. Now, I said at the beginning, I think you'll find out why this is a little bit different. So obviously I have released the Jabanga. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce it. That's how I'm going to pronounce it anyway. What I wasn't expecting is, upon releasing them, it was going to do this. Full cutscene. Okay, that makes sense. But then the end credits. So yes, that is actually the end of the game. Well, so I thought. But then I remembered Midhaven needed me to release the Jabanga. Really don't know what to say. So That's the game finished. I have to admit, I have done quite a bit extra. And I forgot to record it. And I've only just remembered to record. So I think what I'm going to do for the rest of this video is I'm going to take you on a tour. Because, yeah, a lot has changed. First off, I've managed to get quite a bit of steel stuff, and I got most of it from helping traders rather than making it, oddly enough. There's a lot of big creatures that have shown up now. The Jabanga actually isn't the most impressive flyer, strangely enough, but the most impressive is so rare. I've seen it once, and as I say, I forgot to record it. But I am now finding many, many more creatures. Still haven't unlocked them all, but I will no doubt do so. It's probably going to be something that I need to do to basically catch the to obtain all of the trophies. Steel sword is ridiculously strong, by the way. Now I have got 2 trees, I think it is, at maximum height, which is basically tier 5 in effect. So there's this one, and there's also the first tree that I laid down. Now they do get a lot of extra creatures around them. Another thing that I've done is I have kind of done one fertile grove, I think they're called. I did one of those, the one by the starting area on the starting island. Now I have found another load of them, but I haven't finished them yet. So I might actually do that in this video. That might be something to do. I'm still in like shock, to be honest, that the game in effect has finished. There's no more side quests, although there were only really 2 or 3 side quests in the entire game at the moment. It is early access, so it's understandable, but there was one to help out a load of snags. Snags are basically disembodied giant hands that walk around like Thing out of the Addams Family. There's also some disembodied giant eyes, which are really weird looking things because they kind of look like overly fat SpongeBobs, but with one eye. And no clothes. I'd point that out. So you have to help them out every now and then. And other than that, there's just a couple of villagers ask you to do stuff. So there was helping a Jit, there was helping Hoa, I think, with something. There's obviously Ruslan. I had to build him his house, if I remember rightly. The only other things really to do are all of the temples or shrines and the ruins. So that one over there is a garden, and you can kind of see that where the trees are and where the buildings are, you've got nice greenery, and the rest of the place is a bit desolate. So yeah, it's just like I've still got a few ruins to finish, I think. But oddly enough, I have found some. I'll show you the map in a bit. I have found some where they show up on the map, but there's no actual name to them. There's a fertile grove that I've done just ahead. But yeah, there's no name to them, and when you get there, there's no interaction point, so you can't actually repair them, even though it comes up on the map as a ruin. It's very, very odd. Right, let's head over to this fertile grove so you can kind of see what one's like when it's... I was about to say made, but grown is probably better. And then I will find another one that needs fixing. I have spent quite a bit of time destroying those withered nests as well. I've noticed this actually. in some of the giant trees, colossal trees, and the fertile groves, when you get close, the local wildlife is injured, but there's nothing attacking them, so I'm not quite sure whether that's they've flown into trees or whatever. But yeah, it's really quite weird. No, I don't want to have a withered boulder. Every time I do that, a withered Raslith pops out. Not that they're going to hurt me these days, but even so. The other thing is you can't grab onto these in the fertile groves. You can't actually climb anything. So you have to jump and duck around everything for some strange reason. Let me through. Another withered nest there. But that's actually by my latest town. My latest town actually has a colossal windmill, which is that massive thing just there in front. Odd things. I'm guessing it's because of the amount of space they take up, but it kind of makes... Maybe this is my lack of mechanical engineering because I'm an electrical engineer, but it kind of makes sense having the sails that way round, because that way round they catch more wind. Somebody let me know down in the comments, if you are a mechanical engineer, let me know why you can't make windmills like that. It's probably something to do with the forces when you get a really high wind, but who knows? Or it could just be the fact there's just too much torque if you do that, and it'll literally grind the stones together and wreck the thing. I don't know. Nope, need some points. So this is my latest town. Like I say, I've got this underway. I've got some houses and stuff. The town is already upgraded to tier 2. Made a nice picnic area with some trees. Mask merchants and traders keep showing up, but they always ask for gold. I mean, gold, honestly. I actually get gold quite easily these days, to be fair. But I say these days as though it's like ages. I've probably paid for 13 hours today. Bearing in mind, when I sat down earlier, it was just to do the Jabanga bit. And I think it took me about 20 minutes maybe to do that. And I've basically been playing all day since. So, yeah, I've done quite a bit. Let's go to this one. So this is Midhaven Max, tier 3. You can't go any higher. It's a bit disappointing because there's obviously still ruins around it, and I would have liked to have been able to clear those out. The other thing I would like to have been able to do was have some more like buildings on the actual platform for the tower, but I've had to put them all the way around the outside here. I have completed the museum pieces as well, which is really weird because the back half of the museum is still not built. So I am guessing they have done that so that they can add content, and that content will include museum pieces, which would be really good if that's the case. We've got this artisan. I can't remember whether this was in the last episode, but basically this is where Ajit now has his job, and he's always smiling and he's always happy, and it's kind of disconcerting. But yeah, you can basically make a load of decorations. We have big trees like this latex tree just showing in the middle of the grass now, even when you plant just a normal seed. I don't lose any amity when I am picking things like hay and standard common bushes these days. It's only when I pick other things. You can see all of the map is unlocked. All of the grey bit that's kind of like wavy around the outside is where the withered is still bad. We have got some build things that we still need to complete. Like this Phoenix candle, where Phoenix bark, I don't even know where to get that from. And then we've got this one, Rainbow Shroom. Again, no idea where to get Rainbow Shroom from. But here we go. Look, no name. No name. No name. And then we've got
few completed things and one left to do there. So yeah, let's go back to the starting town so we can see that. I think I've probably shown you this, but I haven't shown you the max height tree. It's pretty big. I mean, it's as tall as a mountain, pretty much. You can't even get to the first set of leaves without stopping on a lump halfway up, because the stamina is just not good enough. Obviously, the bigger the tree gets, the further the grassland goes. So the grassland and the animals area is now up right inside the base. I have had them inside the farming town when I've arrived before. It scares the crap out of them and me, if I'm being honest. They always ask for berries, and I haven't got any. I do find berry mounds are actually less common now. Mainly because I am planting lots of things that are bigger. So when I plant things, trees grow rather than bushes, for example. Now there are a couple of really big creatures in this area, and I can't see any at the moment, which is quite annoying. But yeah, I've had two sets of bigger creatures since the leaf snouts, if that gives you any indication. One of them kind of looks a bit like this thing here. But he's not around. We've just got multiple of the Golus. He's basically looks like a Golu, but a lot bigger. Don't know where they are. Anyway. No. Yeah, you can see how far it extends now. It's quite far out. Let's get some dung. I need a lot of dung for doing a lot of the construction work, so I literally have to go picking up poop wherever I go. What a life this guy has, eh? Let's just have one quick look over by... Is it Taji? I can never remember the name of the person who owns the hut up here. There's the hut. There's probably a load of ruins that I haven't actually found yet, but... Ooh. It's a bleeding heart there I haven't upgraded. Tahi. Spends the... oh, and a tree's just grown. So when you do that, it does extend the amount of area that your foliage and trees can cover without having to plant them, which is pretty useful, to be fair. Those things are horrible. Those things are always attacking me. They actually do a load of damage as well. In fact, all of the predators in this game do a lot of damage. They do a lot more than the withered, but there again, withered don't hurt me now, so... Oh god. Full inventory. Plant that. That gives me space to pick up the iron ore. Always need iron ore now. As you can imagine, with steel and iron equipment. Oh. There we go. And I went for the normal stone. Wonderful. How amazing was that? There you go, gold dust. I actually get more gold dust out of limestone than I get limestone sometimes. Quite impressive. And there seems to be a new tree down there as well. So I think this is going to be pretty much most of my end game bit at the moment. I don't think there's going to be much other than this. I can go into the withered regions, the blue ones on the map. And I have been in there like for about 5 minutes and got absolutely squashed by a giant. That's how I know that this armor doesn't work against giants, by the way. I didn't die, but I was very close to dying. Kept firing me across the screen. Don't know whether I had this in one of. I had put this down in one of the previous episodes, but I don't know whether I've actually ever shown it. We've got foliage on the beach now. That's how far it's extended. It's nice to see the temperate ecosystem reaching so far. It does look much better. I'm quite impressed by the amount of. I mean, you're not interacting with the foliage. You know, it doesn't move out of the way when you walk through it or anything. But at the same time, just the amount of assets on the screen, you can tell this is using the new Unreal Engine. I'm assuming it's the new one, because if this is Unreal Engine 4, I am ridiculously impressed. Some weird flying creatures in this game. I think I mentioned earlier the actual most impressive flying creature. I can't remember what it's called. It's something like the Kwama or Kumba or something like that. It kind of looks like a Siamese fighting fish, but for the sky. And yeah, it's impressive. I'm going to put it that way, but it's extremely rare. And if you guys want me to do a video showing it, then let me know in the comments below if I can capture a video showing it. I will do, but only if you guys want me to, so let me know. Right, what else are we gonna do?
So let's just see how far we've come. So this is not long after I arrived in Midhaven, and I've set up my first couple of buildings. Seems so long ago, but actually I think in total I've played about 100 or so hours of Aghasba, and that includes my first couple of starting runs that I didn't get very far. But this just reminds me of what it was like. I'm glad I took this video, and hopefully I can recreate it for this, which is where I am now. It's a stark contrast, really. Okay, ignore the fact it's nighttime in this one. Just the amount of buildings, the fact that I now have a tower in Midhaven. And my character, of course, looks completely different with my new hairstyle, my new mask, armour and weapons. It's quite a long way, and a lot has been done. Amazing.
So I just want to ride around for a bit, to be honest, because I do find this world actually strangely satisfying. I know it's not got the same sort of graphics or abilities as Ark. You can't tame lots of creatures. In fact, the only creature you can ever own is Chingo B, the Harlot. Even when you get the animal pens, you can't put animals in the animal pens. But I don't know, there's just something about it. It really did grip me. My first couple of playthroughs, it didn't. But as soon as I started to dedicate some actual time for this video playthrough series, I don't know, it really did just capture me. And to be honest, I just didn't want to put it down. I think that's why it hit me so hard when it actually did end so quickly. I did think that as soon as the Jabanga came out of the ground that some things would change, obviously. The fact that it was a prerequisite of getting to tier 3 of Midhaven kind of threw me, because when I saw that, I obviously didn't think that the game would end when they were released. So yeah, that was quite a big thing for me. And just the exploration that has taken place. I mean, again, just referencing back to Ark, which is probably a very bad comparison to draw. But in Ark, I don't know, sometimes the exploration feels more like a fight for survival in and of itself, because you never know what you're going to come up against and come across. Whereas in this, primarily, you can just do what you want. And yes, that was that big fish type thing I was talking about before. The Siamese fighting fish style flyer. So I'm just going to go and see whether we can get close so you guys can have a look at it. It's kind of fortuitous that I'm kind of just running around with no HUD, although the HUD does appear as soon as you get attacked, like I just was. Quite fortuitous that it did show up. But yeah, back to what I was saying. It's just the fact that you can explore, and yes, you might get attacked every now and then, but the majority of the time you can just wander around and go places that you want to go and have a look at things. I don't know, it's quite refreshing. It's not hyper realistic, but at the same time, I don't know, it's got a funny look about it that sometimes you think, does it look realistic or does it look cartoony? Like these rocks at the moment, they've kind of like got this shimmer to them. Is that because they're hit by moonlight? Is it because they're designed that way? I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into this because I have thoroughly enjoyed my time with this game. And it's early access. Like, I keep forgetting that it's early access. So the chances are that by the time this is a full release game, there's going to be so much more to do. And I'm starting to think that sometimes early access is a bad thing, because I've now completed the game as it is, and although I have really enjoyed my time with it, am I going to know when enough content has released that coming back to it is going to make sense? Unless I spend a lot of time learning about this, researching it, making sure that I am kept up to date. I know PlayStation does every now and then with followed games, but I don't think it does it well enough that, you know, you're automatically told. Obviously, it'll download an update in the background, but that update could just be, I don't know, they've added in a new mask or something like that. But I'm talking about when they add like full story features and things like that to the mix. That would be really, really nice. I am going to keep an eye on it. Honestly, because I really have enjoyed my time. I'm not going to say it will ever catch me the same way that Ark did when I first played that. And if I'd have kind of thought about my channel at the time, that really is an ugly looking fish thing. Wow. But yeah, if I'd have thought about my channel thing at the time, I would probably have done a playthrough of Ark. Although I did like playing that co-op more than single player. But I like the freedom of being able to build wherever you want and actually build the buildings you want and place interactable structures around, like forges and smithies and things like that. But I don't know, there's just a quirky charm to Aghasba that captured me. I honestly think that this game can only get better. Yes, there are some quirky bits, some janky bits. I have had quite a few places where I've kind of fallen through cliff faces and got stuck inside the rock. I've had it inside the water as well, where I've been swimming and I've just swum through the end of a rock and then can't get back out. But again, it's early access, it's an indie studio. Hopefully they'll get ironed out. But let's face it, at this stage, especially with how long I've been gaming, I kind of think that those things add to the charm of a game. I know it's a weird thing to say, and I'm probably going to get absolutely annihilated in the comments for saying it, but I honestly do think sometimes it does give to the charm of a game, the fact that you have these little quirks. Because if every game was perfect, there'd be very little to distinguish between them sometimes. But anyway, enough of me getting a bit soppy. I understand from looking online that you can jump onto those. I don't think you can with the Jabanga. I've only seen them on that cutscene. Oh god, you can go away. So yeah, I'm gonna try, and of course he turns around. I'm gonna miss. I'm gonna miss. I am so gonna miss. Will I get the tail? Will I get the tail? Will I get... No. What I might do if I climb up here. No. Oh, my glider went through it. Damn it. It was looking at me though. Wow. Now that is a sight to finish. Definitely a sight to finish, that is.
And that brings our time in Aghasba to a close. Well, it brings our time together to a close. I will carry on and try and finish off all of the trophies, etc. But hope you enjoyed the series. If you did, please make sure you click the like button, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and leave me a comment down below. And I look forward to seeing you for my next video very soon. You all take care. Bye for now.